Hey, this is MassX with another One Punch Man, the strongest video, and we've got to talk about character mastery today and how you really need to plan, be methodical about it because of limited resources based on what you're doing in the game, i.e. if you're free to play, if you're a light spender, if you're a whale. Even if you're a whale, you have to consider these things. So let's first go ahead. If you see characters, now you're going to see now there's a new spot that's called Character Mastery. If you click on it, you're going to see 3 tabs open up. Faction Mastery, Type Mastery, and Class Mastery. Okay, and let's just talk about how you're going to get these resources and how you're going to plan for that. Well, first off, Mastery Cultivation requires configuring assist characters, and assist characters must meet specific requirements. So for instance, you're going to see for Faction Mastery, it only requires 1 assist character. To activate Mastery Tier 1 unlock requirement, the character's got to be at 2 stars, blue +3 quality, and 1 slot needs to have an assist character. If you click that plus sign, you're going to see a list of characters that you can use for that assist. Now, you don't need to worry about if it's SR. You can go ahead, and what you do want though, preferably sometimes, is a 5-star, but let's go ahead and we will put one in here. Let's go ahead and we'll just put, there we go. You can choose it, and now you're going to see it's activated. So all 3 slots now are lit up. What does that mean? Well, you're going to get the mastery effect. The character specialized defense increases to 10%. Non-crit damage reduction increases to 6%, and you can obtain that at tier 2, and you have to activate it to get. Your activation requirements are at the bottom, and they'll show you what you need. So you're going to need other mastery card 2, other mastery card 1, and of course the faction certificate. How are you going to get these? And this is the key right now, and what you need to be most concerned about in the game is farming this. So what you can do to make it really easy on yourself is you can go to other mastery trial and go ahead and start farming it. Now you're going to have a limited amount of tickets each day, or what you'll be able to get if you purchase, etc. So you really want to plan for this. So what you're looking to do is really at the start, farming is going to be the key for you, okay? And farm as far as you can get, and they can get quite difficult. But like with anything in any game, you want to maximize what you can get. So first off, doing faction trials for hero and villain, the farther you can get on those, well, hero and villain are going to encompass most, if not all, characters, of course. So that's a good thing to start farming at first, to build those resources, see how far you can get. Once you hit the roadblock, move on to the next one. Pretty simple stuff, but the problem is you really have to plan forward for this. Now, when you look at the mastery trial rules, what does it say? Faction trials can be challenged up to 5 times daily, resetting at reset, of course. Gems can be exchanged daily for faction trial tickets. When type mastery cultivation is activated, there is a chance for faction trials to drop type trial tickets for type trials. The limit for owning faction trial tickets is 5, and the limit for owning type trial tickets is 10. Tickets will not drop if these limits are exceeded, so you really have to consider that. Make sure you're not doing anything when you're maximized. The higher the trial level, the higher the probability of dropping advanced cultivation items. Of course, just like what I said before, you need to push as far as you can to maximize your output. When level mastery cultivation is activated, there is a chance for type trials to drop level mastery cultivation items. Faction booklets, type booklets, class booklets, intermediate mastery cards, advanced mastery cards, faction certificates, and type certificates are guaranteed to drop upon first clearing a stage. During daily and double drop events, they also have a chance to drop. So again, another thing, like we know with any other event, this game or other game, anytime you can get double drops, you're going to want to be maximizing your runs. But again, this is all going to be about planning, okay? So let's go ahead and go back. Now, Similarly to Faction Mastery, you can go to Type Mastery. you're gonna notice the requirements are gonna get harder and harder. So, for instance, you are now gonna need 2 assist characters for this one. For class mastery, you're going to need 2 assist characters, as well as you level up masteries, there can be higher requirements involved. So you're going to want to definitely keep that in mind when you're doing this. But how do you pick what characters? Let's say you want to go ahead and try. Well, first off, let's go ahead and make this very clear. You can pull your assist characters out, okay? So you can go back, hit the cancel button, and they're gone. No penalization except for the fact of any resources you had put in, but you can move those characters around. So that is helpful as you experiment. But think about this as, do you know what team you plan on be using for the next few months? Do you know what team you're even planning on using for the next 6 weeks? If you're not sure, just farm, okay? This is going to be a marathon. This is not a sprint at all. It is going to be time consuming, and it's going to take a lot of persistence to build up what you're going to need, because even if you're going to go in and spend hard, there is a limited amount of resources available. Now, if you go to your mail today, you're going to notice that you did receive some resources based on what level of faction mastery, type mastery, and level mastery you're currently at according to the game. By where your account's at, you got some rewards. So that's the good news, okay? So you are getting some stuff to start off with, but again, I would hesitate telling anybody to jump into this. The key is going to be farming right now. Now, if you go into the mall too, you're going to see what's going to be available weekly. You're going to have 2 different packages. Both you can get 5 of, quite costly, quite honestly. You're going to see the weekly faction mastery pack, which is going to have some gems, some certificates, some mastery card selection chests 1, and faction booklets. And then you're also going to have available to you the weekly type mastery pack. Same deal, except for it's going to have a mastery card selection chest 1 in it. So, you know, I can tell you from my point of view, I'm going to just farm for the next few days and see if I can really find myself with what character or characters I think I will be using consistently for the next 45 to 60 days. That's how I'm going to plan for this. Personally, to me, it's similar to other aspects of the game where you're going to look to maybe activating the tier 1 of all 3 masteries for your main DPS or your main tank to start, someone that you think you will be using for some point, and then go from there, because you really want to be methodical. I cannot stress that enough. This is something that's going to take some time. Characters are going to change. You really don't want to resource deprive yourself on somebody that is not the correct decision, or someone you don't expect to use for some time. So to me, farm daily, make sure you're maximizing your farming, and then plan after a few days how you want to start this. I'm going to circle back around, and once I make a decision on who I want to go ahead and start to build on after I've built up my resources, I will go ahead and do a subsequent video. We'll get more in depth as these increases, because the requirements are going to increase, and with the requirements increasing, that's also going to increase what it costs, because there are things in here that are really hard to give up. For instance, Omni Shards. That's a tough one, you know. That's one of the items in this game that I hoard and get as much as possible, so I can limit the amount of pulls I have to do to maximize when I want to build a character. Now that I'm going to have to concern myself with using these, now it becomes a push-pull, because do I want to now take this character to 5-star, 6-star now, or do I want to hold those Omni Shards because I'm more interested in a different character to, build its class mastery. So really, you got to be careful, guys. I cannot stress that enough. It's a nice inclusion into the game. I'll be honest with you, it does give an edge to anybody that spends, if they spend on it, but it doesn't give a massive one unless you're just gonna blow out completely, because there are limits to what's available. Now again, there'll be other ways to get items down the road, pack purchases, in-mall purchases, but you can see those are grayed out, limited events, so we will have the ability to get that stuff. So just be careful, okay? Really know and be confident in who you plan on using for some time. I know that's difficult right now, given that we are now wondering where these banners are going to go. Is it going to be TTM next month after DSK and so on? So just be careful. That's really the key to this. Jumping into this and wasting resources is not going to assist your account in the long run. So again, once I decide to do one character, I will do a subsequent video so you guys can see the requirements, what it's costing, and what my decision was, and I will explain why I based that decision on what I did. So good luck to everybody. Have a great week. Like and subscribe. Have a great day.